Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at kmdlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to kmdlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law. PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild. Aquadam.net. Give them a call at 707-764-2119. A flooded home is never easy to deal with. You're left with the mess to clean up, having to deal with the insurance company, not to mention the memories that are lost that you can never replace. To those who live in flood-prone and hurricane-prone areas, which is just around the corner, prepare now. Hurricane season is right around the corner. Visit Aquadam.net to see how they can help you prepare to avoid flood damage this season and every season thereafter. And Aquadam can be another tool in your arsenal to protect your home and property from the floodwaters. A cofferdam, using water to control water, that can protect your home, your business, your church, your neighborhood, like a dam, but without the beavers. Give Aquadam a call at 707-764-2119, 707-764-2119, or look them up online at aquadam.net. They're also on Facebook at Aquadam Inc., or call or email them today. They can help you out. Give them a call. Tell them Opperman Report sent you. Opperman Report, that's 10% off the price to anyone who mentions the Opperman Report.
It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. Say this. I'd say I've been taping so much this week. I got so many shows, so many interviews. And, I say that same stupid thing at the beginning of every show. Welcome to the Opperman Report, blah, blah, blah. Oh, boy. I guess I'm breaking that up because it gets monotonous, but then I forget to say stuff, Anyway, I'll start saying, every 5 minutes. So, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ed Opperman, the private investigator. You can find me at Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting. Check out our member section, OppermanReport.com. We have special content in there you won't find anywhere else. I got 2 new shows I have to upload to there. I'll try and get it done this week. It's just we've been so busy, so hectic over here. And then one of the big things going on right now is that I could really use your help with too, is every Thursday night I'm doing a live video podcast on a brand new startup platform, which is very professionally run, called GetVocal.com. GetVokl.com. And it's free. And I'm doing a live show every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay? Now, let me tell you, I don't like being up at 7 p.m. Okay? I like to be in bed by that, all right? And I usually am. So, and I don't like working at 7 p.m. either, let me tell you. So, I'm putting out this extra content for you. This week I have coming up is Doug Valentine. We're going to be talking about the Phoenix program and his new book, TDY. The first week I had William Ramsey on. We were talking about the West Memphis 3. And Terry Hobbs. Okay, this is right on the heels of Terry Hobbs, them accusing him of murder, without even how do you do? I think the expression goes. On the Oxygen Channel, like Clown Bob Ruff. So I had William Ramsey on to talk about that on the first debut show 2 weeks ago. Then last night I had on Pierce Redmond, and we talked about Epstein stuff, and new developments in that case, on Virgin Island stuff, things like that. So those shows are still up there. You can go to GetVocal.com, right? You got to register to get on there, but it's free. You can use your Facebook or your Twitter to register your cell phone number. And then once you're in, find the Opperman Report channel and follow me or subscribe to me on there, okay? Very, very important. So people always say, oh, I'd love to support the show. I'd love to support your work. But, I don't have any money yet. I'm broke. I'm just broke as you are. Well, there's something you can do for free, okay, to help out the show. So everybody right now listening, if you could just take a moment to go to getvocal.com, VOKL.com, log in, sign up, free, and follow my channels. Because if we can get this is a paid gig. They're hiring me to do this. It's like an ad on the show. So if everyone goes there and helps out for free, then they'll keep paying me. And then we could cover all these expenses for all these other platforms we're on. I have free reign. I can talk about whatever I want. No one's censoring me over there. If anybody ever did try it, I'd be gone. One more thing, too, is you can go there and check out, because I've been working on this TV pilot for the past year. It's been going on forever. And according to these guys, and William Morris is involved, and there's a lot of people, there's legit stuff going on here. And according to these guys, because of the shutdown in Hollywood with the coronavirus and all that stuff like that, that after all that's lifted, that my show will be likely to get picked up because it's so cheap and stuff. It's the kind of thing they're going to want to do right away. We can hit the ground running very quickly. So our chances are better than ever before. And so the video intro from this on this GetVocal.com platform on my Opperman Report channel on there is what do you call it? I was going to say it's from the video footage that we filmed for the pilot. So check that out. GetVocal.com. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I want to thank Ed Parnell and Doug Canning, who did some work on these intros. Doug did one, and Ed did one, and I showed them both to the audiences. In fact, Doug did two. I could only show him one. I couldn't figure out how to play the other one. But if you can go to these, maybe I'll try a couple of different ones, see which one the audience likes the most. Because there's another one that I like that's with the music was Sonic Reducer from Dead Boys, a little punk rock intro. So I kind of like that. Okay, let's see what's going on. I kind of got some bad news tonight, some little out there, What are you going to do, though? Everybody's so miserable with all this shut-in stuff and not working, no income coming in. And I heard tonight that A.J. Weberman, one of the founding yippies in New York City, used to live up there above 9 Bleecker Street, believes he has the coronavirus and he's coughing up and he thinks he's dying, you know. And he would be someone who's susceptible. You know, he's one of those people that has pre-existing conditions and stuff like that, and, you know, has stuff going on. So really, you know, legendary guy. If you had kind of person that prays, if you could just pray for A.J. Weberman and keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Or if you live nearby and you can help him out, you know, if you know who I'm talking about. I first met A.J. when I was about 15, 16 years old. I was in Manhattan with my friend Fred Gottbetter, and who's another legendary guy with the Yippies. It was at one point he was the Yippie spokesperson, and he tells me, he goes, "Yeah, I'm the spokesman, but I keep a low profile. I don't like to be seen out there and talk to the media or anything like that. I keep a low profile." And he used to live down there at Yippie headquarters and stuff like that. And he was my supplier for marijuana and hash and stuff like that. All fun things I was doing back in those days. He would get it from AJ, and AJ would get it from the hippie mafia from Stratton and those guys. So, you know, Fred was like a mentor to me, taught me a lot of stuff. And one day we're walking through Manhattan down there in Bleecker Street around that area, and he goes, "See that guy over there?" He goes, "That guy wrote the best book on the JFK assassination, where he identified the 3 tramps as being part of the Watergate burglars." And I said, "Whoa, man, how does he do that?" You know, he goes, "Hours and hours and hours of research, spending time in the library researching things." And it was the first time in my life that someone who I respected and I was impressed by taught me that it was cool to go to the library and do research and learn, you know, and develop your mind and your education. Because I was never a good student at school. And when I went down there and met these guys, and they were all very smart, intelligent guys, almost every single one of them. You know, they had their own newspaper and stuff like that. And here's this guy who wrote a book. You know, I never met anybody who wrote a book before. And so as the years went on, I became a habit myself to go to the library and research stuff. The central big libraries in Manhattan and stuff too, especially New York Public Library. You know, all the stuff you could dig up there. Man, now they go to these great databases. People don't utilize their libraries enough. You'd be shocked what they have there. Librarians are very helpful too, especially librarians in small towns. If you want to, investigate somebody who's in a small town someplace, you know, that's one of the places you call. You know, you ask, "Hey, what's going on there in town?" You know, what do you know there? I'm PI calling from out of town. And they just like to gossip. So AJ also too. So he wrote the book "Coup d'Etat in America" that identified the Watergate burglars as being the 3 tramps, and he actually got into some litigation with E. Howard Hunt. And it was met all these guys and got involved with all stuff, the JFK researchers and stuff like that. I've had him on the show 7 or 8 times. He's the one who located the information about Trump's father being in that KKK protest rally. AJ was the head, I think he still is, part of the Jewish Defense Organization. Not to be confused with the Jewish Defense League. But the same type of, militant, radical activists, tough guys out there in the street fighting Nazis and, all that kind of stuff. I certainly don't agree with all those politics today, especially. But always had a lot of respect for him, that's for sure. And this guy's accomplished a lot in his life. A legend, we're losing a legend, if God forbid, but... It's just that, I was out earlier this evening picking up some stuff to make dinner for my daughter. And, since I moved here to Florida, I tore my bicep moving a couch. Because I moved myself, as I've done, most of my life. Every time I've moved myself. And so I figured, well, I can still move myself. I can move my furniture. I was trying to move this couch into the house, and a lot of things were going wrong. I didn't have the right kind of dolly and hand truck and stuff, and I wound up tearing my bicep, So I've gotten it's going to take another month and a half, 2 months to heal. And it doesn't hurt that much, but I definitely can't carry anything, So I've gotten flabby, I'm flabby, and I'm out of shape, I'm weak. disgusting looking, My hair, I need a haircut real bad, And, I'm out, I'm walking around, and I see these young, pretty girls and stuff like that. And just even a couple of years ago, I could, smile and flirt, make a little joke, and then they would get attention, that they liked that. I could, date, young, beautiful women. And I was just out tonight, and it just, my game is gone. I'm not kidding. I'm not getting any game at all going on here. And I was really feeling bad for myself. I'm like getting old, and I'm losing it to, facet of my life that I really enjoy, flirting and dating and that kind of stuff. And then I get this news that this guy I looked up to my whole life, had a lot of respect for him, is possibly, dying, according to him, dying of the coronavirus. AJ was also he used to hang out with John Lennon. He had a big protest and he roughed up Phil Spector, involved in so many. Oh, the real funny story I could tell you that hardly anybody knows about. He kind of denied it when he was on the show, but I know this story. I know everything went on there. He had in his lobby of the building, he had rigged it so that if someone came into the building that he didn't like or he had a problem with or thought he was going to be getting robbed or something like that, he could lock the doors down there and then remotely release tear gas into the room. Again, it's a true story, man. So the guys from the Jewish Defense League were coming to sue him, and they were going to serve him some papers. And they somehow got into the building where he buzzed them in or whatever. Then he locks them in, he starts tear gassing them, and he winds up holding them hostage. All right? And it was this guy, Ramdam, okay, who was a private investigator. He's lost his license a few times and got arrested for impersonating a cop. Interesting guy. I'm not going to say he's not a... Everybody seems to be in this field a little out there, you might say. All right? So he's holding him hostage there. And years later, I run into I never met Ramdam. I never knew this guy. But I run into him at a PI conference. He's sitting there. He wrote a book or something. He signed it and autographs, whatever he's doing. He's at this no, he had software he was selling. He had a database he was selling. I said, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. I says, you'll never believe it, but that guy that kidnapped you, he's an old friend of mine. Yeah, I haven't heard from him in years. I haven't talked to him in years. Yeah, the guy that kidnapped you, man. That didn't go over too well. AJ was also the guy who invented garbology. Okay, this guy came up with the idea. He invented it in his own head to go to the front of people's houses and steal their garbage, steal their trash, and sift through their trash and their garbage looking for clues and evidence. So he's the one that came up with that idea, and he would go to famous people's houses. I think he went to, what's her name? Kennedy's wife. Oh my God, my memory's getting so bad lately. Jacqueline Kennedy, yeah. And other people, when he would find like heroin needles and stuff, and he'd report on it and talk about it. And he was also the Dylanologist, or he still is a Dylanologist, where he would claim to be able to interpret all of Bob Dylan's lyrics, and he understood what they meant and could decipher them and explain them to everybody else. A little obsessive with that. He started talking about it once in one of our interviews and just went on and on and on. And I think even Dylan had a restraining order against him at one time. So things got a little intense there. He also got involved in the anthrax investigation, and I think he was against that guy Hatfield, and he felt that Hatfield was a white supremacist Nazi, and he went after him, ruthlessly. And there was some litigation in that too as well. But when he came on the show, I asked him about it, and he says, yeah, it was wrong. So, and then he got involved with investigating Frank Sturgis, along with Frank Sturgis' nephew, who's also been on my show, James Hunt, a law professor in Texas. And they came up with all this information about Sturgis being involved in a coup attempt in Portugal, And they went down there and testified before the Portugal Congress, or Parliament and something like that. So, fascinating guy, fascinating life. Are there any people out there like that now, man? Like a one-man show out there running around writing books, investigating, suing, you know? Now, how many people are out there really? I'm kind of, you know, out here doing some stuff, you know, but I'm still impressed by a guy like A.J. Weber. I get involved in some stuff myself, I guess, you know? Yeah. I don't know. Cheers, AJ. We had a mutual friend, Fred Gotbetter. You can look up Fred Gotbetter, Google him, and there's a lot of stories out there about him. Legendary guy, again, like I said, the hippie spokesperson. Looked up to him as a mentor to me, taught me a lot, and got hopelessly addicted to heroin. Hopelessly. To watch this man, you know, self-destruct so quickly right before my eyes at such a young age. I was 17, 18 years old when I watched this. And when I saw him again, you know, because we had a huge falling out over his addiction and his problems and his, you know, like theft, you know, his, you know, just being desperate for money, you know, and taking advantage of deals and, you know, owing me money and stuff and overlooking it and, you know, forgiving him, helping him out, you know. And this is a guy much older than me. I was much younger, and then it turned into a situation where here this guy was a mentor to me, and I was taking care of him. And then I would see, you know, the last couple of times I saw him, it was just like heartbreaking. And he died of AIDS, you know. So, and he was a mutual friend with me and AJ, and we both loved him, you know. He was a lovable guy, you know. So, you know, a long time ago in my life, you know, but it feels like yesterday in so many ways when you look back at these kind of things and think about them. And I guess, you know, times like this right now where the world is just so upside down and fragile, you know, I guess you start looking back at your own mortality and your what have you done in your life, you know, what can you do, what options do I still have, you know, what can be done. I tell you, just recently, about 4 or 5 days ago, we had scheduled a settlement conference on one of the biggest cases I've ever worked on, you know. And once it settles, you know, I get paid all the work I've done, like 2 years, maybe 3 years worth of pay, back pay. And it's going to be life-changing for me. But they canceled it because of this coronavirus, you know. So maybe it'll open back up again, you know, definitely once this all blows over. But will it ever blow over, you know? You hear some stuff this week. We're watching, what was it, Trump saying that he was going to use Article 2 of the Constitution to suspend Congress, you know? Like, Trump never read the Constitution. He doesn't know what Article 2 is, other than someone's in his ear telling him, hey, you can do these things, you know, we can, you know, you can stay in power, they can't kick you out, you know, you got a lot of unlimited power. So someone's telling him this stuff, you know. And the guy's already someone who's pushing the envelope. He always has his whole life. Right up to the line and crosses it, you know. So, and now, well, like, temporary insanity. Not temporary insanity, full-blown insanity. We have the whole news media in the Democratic Party sabotaging Bernie, who was the only guy that could have beat Trump, to shield his Biden up to the plate. He doesn't have a chance in hell. And what do they roll out this week? First Bernie endorses, then Obama endorses, and then Warren endorses. And then Warren, oh, I'll take a VP spot, you know. And he said he wants a woman. Hey. In my opinion, I think Bernie loses his elder statesman status, you know. And there's some radical leftists, you know, who I respect and I love, who have been egging me on for the past 4 years, who were Bernie supporters last time. And I said, no, Dad, this guy's a sellout. He's, you know, he's going to give in. He's going to give up, you know. And I'm going to invite him on the show and let him say I told you so. Because I really do believe that Bernie's He's taking a dive, and the media put him out, and he should be talking, he should be fighting back, just like Trump fights back. But he's the only one who could have stood toe-to-toe on a stage there with Trump, and now we have nobody. We have a Biden. I'm not going to vote for Biden. I'll never vote for Biden. I'm not a Democrat anyway. I'm not a capitalist. So I'll let the capitalists fight out amongst themselves and see what they come up with. Hey, you know what? I'm going to take a break now. Be right back after these messages. And now a word from our sponsors.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at puresoapflakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
Tina Helmuth is writing an ongoing series of fact-fiction books that boldly takes on today's most heinous crimes. Suffer the Little Children, The Wrath of the Father, and Unbreakable. Deeply researched and mixed with the supernatural, good versus evil makes these thrillers hard to put down. Available at Lulu.com in paperback or ebook.
If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents, they handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at KMDlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to KMDlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. Don't forget, getvocal.com can really help me out if you go to getvocal.com, VOKL.com. You'll sign up and you follow my show. All right, it's a paid gig. I need followers over there. Got some great content coming up this week, okay? Some stuff you got to listen to carefully. I'll tell you a story. I've met a lot of guys that are former intelligence, CIA, NSA, not NSA, but CIA and defense intelligence, naval intelligence and stuff like that. And because, you meet them at PI conventions, and a lot of times they don't come right out and say they were intel agents, but, you can kind of tell. And the thing is, if they don't come right out and reveal themselves of what they are, it's against the law to say, hey, this guy was CIA, hey, this guy is CIA. You can't say that. So I did a bunch of shows this week, and one was about this submarine guy, okay, and clearly this guy has been involved in some stuff in his life, okay. And you want to listen to that interview carefully. See, a lot of times, you got to listen to. I bring on people on my show, right? A lot of guys that do these shows, and they'll bring on and say, I'm a CIA whistleblower, and I know about tunnels and Mars and jump rooms and invisibility, it's crazy stuff, Like, you're in the CIA, and you quit, and the first thing you do is go to alternative media with the wackiest radio host in the world. Okay, people just talking crazy stuff, right? The kind of people I bring on are legitimate, sober people, okay? But you can kind of get stuff out of them. Listen to what this guy has to say about the coronavirus, all right? And when I ask him about, if a country was going to use a bioweapon against another country, wouldn't they plant that bioweapon right next to that other country's bioweapon lab? And just catch his reaction on that. So that's a good show. I think it's called something about spies. Spies of the Deep, something like that, The guy's name is Craig Reed. Nice guy, by the way. Really enjoyed him on the show. Did another show with Ray Blahar, okay? Another guy, sober guy. I think he's a forensic accountant. I forget what he told me he was. Sober guy, man. Not some guy out there, making up stuff about Epstein and all the nonsense. And he's got consumed with the Sandusky case, Second Mile and Penn State. And his take on this is that there was a big cover-up, and the lawsuits against Penn State were basically a sham, and a setup and part of the cover-up. And he gives a lot of... And if you listen to the first interview I did with him, and then you listen to the second one, a lot of the things he was alleging back in the first interview, he's gotten evidence to prove since then. The guy's on the right track, okay? And toward the end, I asked him, so what do you think? What motivation do they have to do all this? And he goes, I think this is a huge pedophile ring involving celebrities and politicians, and they're covering everything up. So, this isn't a frequent flyer on the nut stations, okay? The real guy. M. William Phillips comes on the show. William Phillips. Incredible story. He's a true crime author. He's been on the show before. I had him on the show once before, and we were talking about PTSD, how we both suffered a little, because we're very empathetic kind of people. Nice guy. I like him. And really, I enjoyed the interview, too. Again, it tells a story about this female serial killer, and her husband was a serial killer, and then they killed this guy, and then fed his meat to the neighbors and stuff. Jake Anderson. I interviewed him today. I've done so many interviews in a row this week. You have no idea. I had one that fell apart. I couldn't tell what I said. I had one interview this week. A true crime guy wrote a book about an organized crime guy in New York. But Jake Anderson wrote a book. It's brand new. It just came out about that story with that woman in the elevator that then they found her body in the water tank up on the roof. Okay, she was acting all weird in the elevator in the YouTube video. So he wrote a book about that. Great interview. I really enjoyed that. This guy's really good. Again, another empathetic guy. And then I did a small 30-minute interview with a guy who's an expert on these SBA loans and the stimulus check and stuff like that, giving you really good advice. I want to try and get him back, and maybe even get him a sponsor on the show. But his big thing with this, how to handle this work stoppage, the shutdown, is you got to contact all your credit card companies, your landlord, anybody you pay bills to, and you send them an official letter saying, I request a deferral based on this coronavirus, the economic shutdown ordered by the government. I'm unable to work. My clients aren't paying me. And then even, I got my own additional stuff. I tore my bicep. I don't even have a Florida driver's license because they shut down the DMV. I can't get I'm not going to get that stimulus check, you know, because we can't switch my stuff. I got no health insurance down there. You know, the thing's a mess. So you send a letter out. Listen to the show. He tells you how to do it step by step. You send a letter out requesting a deferral on your bills, and he's saying that some places are giving you a year to pay back. Okay, and so you don't pay those bills, but you pay down all your credit cards and stuff like that. You pay down your principal, use your money for that, and then your credit gets better. And he says after this is over, the banks are going to be flooding. They're going to be loaning money like crazy. Bright guy, I enjoyed him too as well. Might be some audio trouble on that one because his phone was really bad. Now, by the way, the thing about the coronavirus being a bioweapon, Fox News is kind of floating that around saying that it was a Chinese bioweapon. But what I'm hearing from my sources, who, again, are in that arena that would know, this is our bioweapon that we planted over there in China. I guess maybe over that beef with the trade deals and problems, you know, maybe Ivanka's patents. There's a problem with that. I don't know what. But it's very convenient, you know. And it seems also, too, that they're using this. If you're not in the, if you're not working on the books, you can still file these quickie tax returns and give us your social security number and your address and stuff like that. And we just want to give you money. That doesn't sound too kosher to me. Then the other one was that they want to mail you a Q-tip and you're going to swab your own mouth and send them back your DNA. I was, born at night, but not last night, So, you got to watch your step. Now, I'm not saying, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that people aren't dying out there and that people aren't very sick, because I know they are. My ex-wife is an ICU nurse back in Las Vegas, and my daughter just did happen to talk to her this week. And, the woman that stole her college fund. And she says, they have 2 floors dedicated to just coronavirus and 60 beds. 60 people dying there, So, let's see what else. But it seems to be a controlled situation, because here you have ICE is still doing these raids. They're raiding people, rounding up illegals. And then you have, they're indicting Maduro down in Venezuela. They're withholding aid to, if this was really a pandemic where it could travel around and and they're withholding aid to Cuba, and they're withholding aid to Iran still, It's just going to increase the spread. And then he wants to go after the World Health Organization at the same time. I don't know. There's a lot of shadiness and going on here, and opportunism, like I think I can believe. All right, let's see. AJ Webb, I told you, but that really blew me away, this AJ stuff, Okay, here's one for you. Okay, this is kind of funny. I moved down here to Florida, and we get the Tampa radio stations down here. Okay, now when I was back in Vegas, I used to listen to AM radio over there, and I used to listen to Wayne Allen Root, okay, who's this right-wing nut in Las Vegas, and he got hooked up with Trump. He would do his opening act for Trump's rallies. I think he still might do it. And he gets on the radio down in Las Vegas. He lived in Vegas. He lived near me. And he definitely used to listen to my show, because I listened to his show every day, and I'd hear him talking about stuff that I had talked about on my show last night. Okay? And that's something, I know that's something the radio hosts do. And I just moved down to Tampa, and I can tell that Bubba the Love Sponge listens to my show. He listens to my local show here on 1490 AM. Wait, let me fix that. Okay. He listens to my local show here on 1490 AM, because I hear him. He doesn't mention me by name, but I hear him. He's on the same thread that I'm talking about. So Bubba the Love Sponge was huge at one point. Howard Stern picked him up and put him on the Howard Stern 100 channel there. And he was riding high. He had an empire. And right around the time of the Tiger Woods case, Bubba doesn't know this, what I'm telling you right now. Bubba, listen carefully. Okay. Bubba the Love Sponge bought a sex tape from one of my clients in the Tiger Woods case. The one who slipped past me and got away, that was really faking her story, it really turns out had no connection to Tiger Woods at all. She claimed that she had a sex tape of her and Tiger Woods, and Bubba the Love Sponge paid her like $400,000 for that tape. And then he went on, he kind of blew things for himself, because what he did was he had this fascination with Hulk Hogan, and he was obsessed with him. And he let his wife sleep with Hulk Hogan, and he videotaped it, then he got sued over it, and Gawker then got shut down and went out of business, and went on huge losses. So anyway, I guess when local radio hosts, when a new guy comes to town, starts a show, they kind of tune in and listen to him for a couple of days, because I can tell he's listening to the show. All right, let me tell you the story. I wasn't planning on telling the story tonight. So I don't have any notes to refresh my memory. But I'm interviewing a guy this week who's a true crime, because I'm trying to bring on a lot of true crime guys, because I'm going to be doing this true crime radio show on Thursday nights on Vocal, getvocal.com. Wicked static and interference? Really? How could that be? Maybe I can lower this down here, man. That really pisses me off. I'm so sick of these pros. Oh, man. Okay. Maybe it's your connection over there. Anyway, okay. Damn. You don't know how frustrating all this is with the problems with the audio. And I brought in professionals here, guys that went to college for this stuff, man. Training. Trying to fix this damn thing, man. It's just killing me. You know, and the way I'm doing these interviews now is we're recording Skype and then editing and stuff like that. All right, I'll try and get this out. It's a good story too. But I interviewed this guy. He's a true crime reporter, and he's wrote a book about these organized crime guys in New York. So I bring him on the show. We're talking. We're getting along great, you know. And at one point, I say to him, well, what's your source for this part, you know? What's your source for this story? And he mentions a name. And it's a guy I know. It's a guy, you can't believe anything this guy has to say. So I said, well, that's your source? Are you kidding? And a lot of times, too, I'll have guests on the show. Okay, that are talking about, wrote a book, or talking about a case that I worked on, a case that I know, okay? And sometimes they don't hear them, they're getting stuff wrong and stuff like that, but they don't know that I'm involved, so I don't want to correct them if they're a stranger, you know. If there's somebody I know, I'll say, I'll tell them what's going on. So, but this guy here, he comes up with this nonsense with this wacko guy from New York, man, that everybody knows. And I said, are you kidding me, man? That guy doesn't know crap, man. He's not, he wouldn't know that kind of stuff that he's telling you. He's an expert on these things. And it totally ruined the interview, because we just started bickering back and forth about every little thing after that. And finally I said to him, listen, man, this is a horrible interview, man. It's going to make you look bad. You know, it's going to make me look bad. What do you want to do? You want to start over? And he says, nah, because, not for nothing. But let's just forget the whole thing. It's just, and I kind of think maybe, you might be right about that guy, because then I did have other questions about him, and I'm rethinking the whole thing, and I want to sleep on this. So you'll never hear this interview. I don't know. It's lost in space. Trust me. But I'll tell you a funny story involving this guy, because there was a time when I was, doing the marijuana stuff, right? And when I was getting my marijuana from Tennessee, these growers in Tennessee, the same guys who were hooked up with that Beagenwald character, that they used to bring up the marijuana from Tennessee, and we did that deal in Beagenwald's mother's house in Staten Island. Beagenwald's a serial killer. You can look him up, Richard Beagenwald. So, one time they came up to New York, because it's down in Tennessee, and you could buy dynamite in Tennessee. You could buy it and sell. All you need to do is show your driver's license. But you couldn't, in New York you couldn't. And back when I first moved to Nevada, too, you could buy dynamite. So they brought this dynamite up with them, and blasting caps and fuses and all kinds of stuff. And they says, hey, Ed, can you sell this up here? You think you can sell this? And I said, you know what? I bet I could. I said, it's giving up with these sticks of dynamite. Okay? So what happened was, these guys, and this guy who was the source of this book, this guy's groundbreaking book with his inside mafia stories in New York City in the 80s, comes out. These guys thought that they were going to extort me. They wanted to extort my marijuana business. Okay? They wanted to try and shake me down. So what I did, I didn't know this. I didn't even know that this was the plan. I thought we were meeting to do business. But the meeting was going to be to take me down, shake me off. So so I had a limo driver, okay, back in that time. I was like 19 years old. Okay, I had a limo driver, and I had all these off-duty cops working for me. So when I went to my meeting with these guys, I went with my usual guys. I go with wait. My cops, and I says, hey, you know what? These guys are big shots in crime. Let me bring the dynamite. I'll show them the dynamite. Maybe they can sell it. We'll go into the dynamite business with these guys, these Brooklyn wise guys, right? And so, they hop in my limo. We're going to go take them to lunch. And they wanted to go to this place. I found out later on the place was a real joint with a lot of nasty stuff went down there. And we're driving over there, we're talking this and talking that. And they brought up something about the cops. And I said, my guys are cops. I got cops working for me, dude. And then I said, hey, before we go in, let me show you something. Here, I got this dynamite. You think you guys can sell this? So and they saw all this, man. And these guys just said, we're getting the hell out of here. We want no part of this nut with his cops and his dynamite. My guys actually pulling their badges out, showing them that they're cops. These guys are turning white. So, but, people always wonder, how come I didn't get shook down? How come, and have to pay any tax back. And it's because, that was one major incident that got me out of it. So, but the guy at that meeting, whose plan was to shake me down and ran with his tail between his legs, is the guy who's the source for this guy's book. Now, maybe years later, he did some things with his life, in those circles. Maybe, I don't know. I can't tell you. Okay, let's see. What else? If I'm being told my audio sucks, I don't want to waste a lot of time. Okay, let's just end it there. Oh, yeah, one last thing. I'm sorry, one last thing. My YouTube channel has been demonetized, okay? There's no more money on YouTube, all right? But warbly interference. Why would there be a warbly interference? It just makes no sense. What if I shut this over here? It just makes no sense because it's not over Skype. And I don't see I don't get that warning that the internet's bad. I gotta tell you, man, I really think I'm like being sabotaged, But anyway, and here could be a reason why. Okay, is that my YouTube channel just got demonetized. You think with coronavirus, but they're still demonetizing people on YouTube, man. People need this money to make a living. And I got another defamation complaint regarding my video with Johnny Vedmore. All right? This one is in France. Now we got one in England, Germany, and France. And it's about that woman. The title of it is called Epstein Associate Nobody's Talking About the IDF-linked Bond Girl Infiltrating UK NHS. Now that's interesting, now that you think about it. Because his whole research, Johnny Vedmore, who's a good guy, knows what he's talking about, is that this agent, IDF agent, is infiltrating their healthcare system over there. And now here we got this coronavirus. Now, that's an odd coincidence, right? Okay. So anyway, they demonetized that, and I got another complaint. They took it down in France. But it's still up here in the United States. I think I took it down from Spreaker myself because I don't want to risk losing that platform. All right? But it's out there. It's still on YouTube, so listen to it because there's something on there that this woman does not want you to hear. And again, I don't know. A lot of people talk about, they're doing this and they're doing that. But here I am. I pissed off this IDF lady. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so if the audio is that bad, I hope it's not on your end. We'll just end the show now. Okay, guys? Good night. And now a word from our sponsors. If you find yourself in need of legal representation, it can be a very stressful time in your life. In my career, I have dealt with thousands of lawyers, I've dealt with thousands of law firms, and I can confidently recommend to you Keith M. Davidson at kmdlaw.com. Available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just log into kmdlaw.com. That's kmdlaw.com. Or you can call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. That's 833-4KMD-LAW. Personal injury, wrongful death, STDs, sexual assault, car accidents. They handle it all efficiently and professionally. It doesn't matter how imposing the opposition may be, because the team at KMDlaw.com are battle-tested and fierce. They will not stop until justice prevails. Go to KMDlaw.com or call toll-free 833-4KMD-LAW. If you're in for the fight of your life, stop screwing around and contact KMD Law.
Have you ever thought about opening your own mobile cart or kiosk business? Maybe the facility you manage could establish new revenue by adding coffee, food, or retail services. Cart King International can be the answer to your needs. Cart King is a North American designer and manufacturer of the finest mobile coffee, food, and retail carts and kiosks. Cart King has been working with clients and corporations across North America for 20 years, providing innovative designs, custom manufacturing, and timely delivery. Carts and kiosks are fun, and so are the dozens of designs on our website. Please visit us today at www.cart-king.com or just call us at 1-877-986-7771 and get your sales rolling.
PureSoapFlakes.com, 218-568-2525. Have you ever heard of Castile Soap? Pure Soap Flake Company handcrafts fine soap bars, laundry powder, and concentrated soap flakes using organic vegetable oils from their northern Minnesota facility. Bathe your body and wash your clothes with Pure Soap products that are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. Keep it clean, folks. Pure Soap Flake Company products are kind to living creatures and sensitive skin, safe for drains and waterways, and work great in high-efficiency washers and top and front-loading machines. They have a little promotion going on. Contact them to order some soap. Mention the Opperman Report. You're going to get a free gift. They're going to send a little extra soap, travel size, soap bars and laundry soap, cleaning soap flakes. I've been using that stuff all day long today. Great stuff. Order today at PureSoapFlakes.com or give them a call, 218-568-2525, 218-568-2525. Pure Soap Flake Company is a proud member of the Handcrafted Soap and Cosmetic Guild.
Are you ready to change your life, but don't know how to start? Is your stress and worries keeping you awake at night? Have you been battling grief, anxiety, or depression all alone? Have you lost touch with your own sense of being or spirituality? Soul Free Therapies offers professional and affordable live video streaming counseling and coaching services from the comfort of your own home. Sessions offered in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Go to our website at www.soul-free.com and book your first session today.
Aquadam.net. Give them a call at 707-764-2119. A flooded home is never easy to deal with. You're left with the mess to clean up, having to deal with the insurance company, not to mention the memories that are lost that you can never replace. To those who live in flood-prone and hurricane-prone areas, which is just around the corner, prepare now. Hurricane season is right around the corner. Visit Aquadam.net to see how they can help you prepare to avoid flood damage this season and every season thereafter. An Aquadam can be another tool in your arsenal to protect your home and property from the floodwaters. A cofferdam, using water to control water, that can protect your home, your business, your church, your neighborhood, like a dam, but without the beavers. Give Aquadam a call at 707-764-2119, 707-764-2119, or look them up online at aquadam.net. They're also on Facebook at Aquadam Inc., or call or email them today. They can help you out. Give them a call. Tell them Opperman Report sent you. Opperman Report, that's 10% off the price to anyone who mentions the Opperman Report.
Tina Helmuth is writing an ongoing series of fact fiction books that boldly takes on today's most heinous crimes. Suffer the Little Children, The Wrath of the Father, and Unbreakable. Deeply researched and mixed with the supernatural, good versus evil makes these thrillers hard to put down. Available at Lulu.com in paperback or ebook.